Hello, and welcome to Marvel Vision, a Marvel Studios TV show podcast brought to you by Cinema Sangha. My name is Devin Faraci. I am one of the hosts of the program. Joining me, as he traditionally does.
My name is Derek Faraci, and even Shakespeare didn't have words for such villainy. How are you, Devin?
I'm okay. I got my fucking Alexa going off in the background. I got, there's a little notification that popped up on the screen when we began recording that really, kind of threw me off my game for a moment. I was like, oh no, is this bad news? And it just says, no, actual download quality may be different than current quality. So, yeah. But I'm doing okay.
We got a new thing going on here.
Yeah, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, we are using a new system. We'll see how it goes. We're seeing how it goes. You know,
we're trying.
Yeah, we're trying. You know, you're gonna have to get a light or something.
Is it too dark?
I mean, it's not too dark, but you're notably darker than I am.
Ziggy, light's white. Not so much.
Makes no difference. It's fine. I mean, whatever. I don't really care. I just, in case you care, that you look like you're in the Batcave and I'm in the Fortress of Solitude. Is kind of the deal, right?
I guess.
So, trying to adjust my camera. We should be getting more of our backgrounds than we normally do. Is what should be happening here. Anyway, we are here. I saw Superman for a second time this week.
Oh, how did it hold up for you?
I brought a friend who doesn't like superhero movies. She's very much not a super. She's never seen one in a movie theater, and so I said, you know what? I think this is a really good movie, and I think it will make you happy. But also, I kind of want the POV of somebody who doesn't like this shit. Right? I really do. You know. And our father had seen it. Our father's not a big superhero movie guy, and he loved it. And our stepmother loved it too. She's also not a big superhero movie person. So we went, saw it on the big IMAX up in Burbank, California. And I fucking loved it the second time around. I felt it flowed a lot better the second time around.
I agree.
Made a big difference. It was smoother for me the second time around. That first time, I think he's telling the story in such a way, it's not non-linear or whatever, but there's a lot of details that are revealed later. And so a lot of stuff plays very when I'm watching the Hammer of Baravia beat him up, it makes more sense to me than it did the first time around. However, she did not like it.
Oh.
She didn't hate it. She had a nice time watching a movie. But she felt that the Crypto was uncanny valley and he really bothered her.
Really?
Yeah, so he was too good. It was he was still obviously CGI to her, but he was so good that it was just a weird middle place. Okay. And so I think if Crypto doesn't work for you, I think the whole movie might be in the fucking trash for you.
You're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think that might be the case.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough time.
Yeah, it's tough. It's not ideal. So, but I fucking loved it.
That's the first I've heard of somebody saying that Crypto didn't look good to them.
In the first post-credit scene, which we're not going to talk about because this is not spoilers, it does have Crypto in it, though, and the whole audience went, "Aww," and she said, "Jesus Christ." So, takes all kinds, baby. Takes all kinds.
Well, there you go. Can't please everybody.
No, she had a nice time. We got poke bowls before, so she had a good time. So that was fine. But so I saw it again. I loved it the second time. Just absolutely adored it. Had a lot of the same feelings, which was the rest of this stuff needs to come out now. I don't want to wait around to see more stuff. I am deeply excited for this DCU. Deeply excited for this DCU.
Well, we got Peacemaker next month.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lanterns and Supergirl next year.
Mm-hmm.
So they're moving at a pretty good pace, I think.
Yeah, but I'm spoiled at this point. You know what I mean? I want a lot of stuff. Especially after this movie where I just love these characters so much.
Yeah.
And I the second time around, I was oh, I really need a Jimmy Olsen TV show. I need to weekly check in with Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I mean, this is a Jimmy Olsen you can see turning into Elastic Boy or Turtle Boy or whatever, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So
100%.
I would love to see more of that.
Same. I know James Gunn had a lot of stuff to say. Is that going to be covered in? I did not look at our news rundown.
I don't have much of what Gunn said in the last couple of days. He was just oh, thanks for coming out.
He
The
did say
movie,
stuff though, other stuff than that.
nothing huge though. Like somebody asked
He's
him Superman 2, and he said, "Define Superman 2." You know, okay.
well. So the
A sequel
things.
to the Superman film, I think, would be the definition.
Well, but that means Superman's going to be a significant presence in another movie coming out between now and Superman's sequel, I would say. Or the Superman sequel is going to be some kind of a team up movie.
Yeah.
The thing that he said that I thought was most interesting is that all of this stuff is building towards something,
Yeah.
but it's not what people might think. And season 2 of Peacemaker is going to help you understand where it's going. It's got to be government versus metahumans. It's got to be, because that's a Creature Commandos thing. They kill the leader of that nation,
Yeah.
and then here Hawkgirl
Whoa!
does stuff in this movie, and Superman does stuff in this movie that is like very politically disruptive.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's the line from the one guy at the end to Rick Flag Sr., where he's like, "I hope you trust the heroes because they're in control now."
yeah, they're calling the shots now.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be that. And then people were speculating that if James Gunn were to do a metahumans versus the government movie, do you know what he might be semi-adapting?
What?
New Frontier.
Yeah, that's been a ongoing theory for a long time online. Gunn, early on when he took over DC, was putting up pictures from New Frontier and stuff like that.
Isn't Gods and Monsters a New Frontier thing?
Gods and Monsters is the name of the 4th chapter of New Frontier.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff in there. I have a different theory.
What's that?
I think he's going to do Invasion. In interviews, Gunn has said that in the DC universe, metahumans have existed for 300 years. That also is right in the beginning of Superman. But he's also said that in recent years there has been an increase in metahuman activity. And my theory is Invasion is going to be just like in the comics. A bunch of alien races are like, "Hey, these superpowered humans are going to be a problem for us. Let's go shut that down now." And
The only reason why I don't agree with that is because he said that Peacemaker Season 2 is going to give you a good sense of where it's going, and I just don't know how you do that in Peacemaker Season 2 in a way that doesn't feel like you're
that's
setting
true.
up. You know what I
that's
mean?
very
Like,
true.
that's outside of Peacemaker's usual remit.
Although we do know there's an alien in Peacemaker Season 2.
Yeah, I mean, that could be. It could be like, was it the Dominators? Is that who it was?
The
in
Dominators
Invasion?
are the main aliens in Invasion. Yeah.
Yeah. Good alien species. Imagine naming yourself the Dominators. Man, that really...
You're set. You're set.
That is like an
Makes it
evil
clear.
That's like evil baseball team name. Like if you were making like a Shaolin soccer about baseball, they would have to go up against the Dominators.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think New Frontier feels more in line with thematics of this movie.
But New Frontier isn't government against superheroes.
I mean, it sort of is, isn't it? It's like
No.
Congress is like,
No, not at
wasn't
all.
that? I thought it was all that JSA shit.
No, that's Golden Age. Is the JSA is called before Congress and Hitler's brain has been put inside Dynaman, and they all have to fight
okay.
him on the steps of Capitol Hill.
Okay, I was getting my miniseries mixed up here.
Yeah. New Frontier is a spiritual sequel to Golden Age, where it's the coming of the Silver Age characters, and there's some light government stuff in there. You know, there's a whole thing where Wonder Woman is in, I think she's in Korea, might be Cambodia, and she's got like an army or a regiment of female fighters that have just like massacred like a whole bunch of dudes, and Superman shows up. He's like, "Hey, you can't do that," and Wonder Woman's like, "Hey, fuck you," like, you know. And Superman was sent by the government to talk to her. But there's not, and Superman's also sent by the government to go beat up Batman. Like, there's little bits, but not a ton of stuff like that.
Right.
And even his Batman fight is like faked. They fake it so that the government thinks Superman's got Batman under control, like that kind of deal. You know, so it's not, you know, and there's stuff with Hal Jordan when he's in the military. but or the Air Force, I guess. But it's not the focus of the story.
You also missed. I'm looking at your little list of news here. You missed pretty significant news about DC today.
About the comics?
No, about DC Studios and DCU stuff.
What?
Variety reports that they are fast tracking a Wonder Woman movie right now.
Yeah, I don't know how much I believe that.
It's Variety, believe it.
But like yesterday, James Gunn said on the Seth Meyers show, like, you know, or on something else, you know, we're working on scripts for Batman and Wonder Woman, and when they're ready, they'll go. So
yeah, that's because that's the game that he's playing. Is we're not doing the release date chase or whatever. But even though him and Safran run DC Studios, they still answer to Zaslav.
Yeah.
And Zaslav probably came down the pike and said, "Okay, time, we need this. You know, we got Superman, we got a Batman. It isn't necessarily the Batman you're playing with. We got a Batman, and it's time for Wonder Woman. We want this. He's going to say people want this. So I suspect that if Variety's saying it, and it's Tatiana Maslany, who is Tatiana Siegel. Sorry, Tatiana Maslany.
Like,
yeah.
What?
What a scoop! It's Tatiana
Has her
Siegel.
career taken a turn? She's now just writing for Variety?
Well, she has all those inside, sources. If she's reporting it, I think it's pretty good. And the other thing is that it says that a sequel announcement is not imminent.
Yeah.
So that's the other interesting piece, because the movie did make enough money this weekend and has enough positive reviews and positive WOM that Warner Brothers is going to definitely want to do a sequel. And, the big question was, like, how does Superman do? What happens to the rest of the DCU? The rest of the DCU probably just bought itself a couple more years.
Yeah.
Is my take.
Yeah. And to be clear, Superman is doing very well domestic, struggling overseas. That's not overly concerning to Warner Brothers from the looks of it. They seem to understand that, A, they have to rebuild the brand.
Right.
And B, Superman, kind of like Wizard of Oz, is a primarily American property.
Right.
Where it doesn't translate as well overseas for whatever reason. Superman, I think it's clear why it doesn't transfer overseas so well.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz seems stranger to me.
It's because they didn't have Wizard of Oz overseas. It doesn't have the history.
Had it by now, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's an old fucking movie. Like, Wizard of Oz has this thing in America where it's a generational thing. But, like, when you show somebody that did not grow up in a world where Wizard of Oz was major, and you show them Wizard of Oz in 1995 or 2005, they go, what is this shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's vital to see Wizard of Oz as a child, I think.
Yeah,
to really
that's
get
probably
it,
true.
That's and
true,
that's just, it's just not a thing in the rest of the world. It just isn't. So, I mean, they're not, like, unfamiliar with the concepts or the characters, per se, but they don't have the feeling for Wizard of Oz that Americans do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like the DCU just bought itself a couple of years. And I feel like we're in a good place. I feel like we're in a good place creatively. I'm kind of curious. Supergirl is a big swing for the next movie.
I am interested in, this is in the news, but they released a Supergirl poster today, and it does not have the vibe I was expecting based on what the story is based on. So I'm interested
I wouldn't look for any kind of vibe. They're looking to remind you that Supergirl movie's coming and that you enjoyed this character in her 35 seconds in this movie.
Yeah, and she's got a different costume on in the poster. She's clearly her cameo in Superman. They had not finalized the costume yet.
Yeah, so she's got a costume in this. They took this photo of her on set, as part of the publicity stuff. The poster in particular here is that she's standing in front of a Superman advertisement that says "Look Up," which is the Superman tagline, and she has spray painted over "up." She's spray painted out, and she's done it because she has paint on her hands, so you know that she's the one who did it.
I think they leave that purposely questionable.
She's got red paint on her hands.
No, but is it red paint or is it blood?
No, you're thinking too much about awareness of the comic book. That's not what this is selling to people. It's not saying
No, I agree that to the majority of people would look at it and be like, oh, paint. But the lack of a spray paint can in the image I think is there for people who have read the comic to be like, that could be blood.
I don't. She's drinking like a fucking like
A Slurpee.
Slurpee, and like I just don't think that's the vibe they want. That's not the vibe they're going for. They're not. I mean, when we get close, remember how marketing works is that it's first about awareness. They're not going to try to clue you into what this movie is until much closer to release. You know, like you're not going to get your story trailers until like a month or two out.
No, but this poster I think is more fun than I would say Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the miniseries is.
I bet this is more fun of a movie.
I would think so. I would think so.
I almost guarantee it's more fun of a movie.
Which takes care of a thing I was thinking about the other day, where I was like, man, it's kind of weird. You know, Superman's out there, and the overall feel of it from audiences is this is really fun, and they're like, great. Here comes Peacemaker, which is a hard R. Here
But it's
comes
fun.
Green. It's fun, but it's not family fun. Here comes Lanterns, which were inspired by True Detective, and that's a hard R as well. And then here comes Supergirl, and the Supergirl story is one where she's on a course for revenge and dealing with childhood trauma. Like, it's like, you got to line up something here to remind people.
No, I guarantee it's going to be much lighter than the comic. I also think Lanterns is going to have much more lightness in it than you expect. The fact they put Guy Gardner in it lets you know that this is going to have
but again,
lightness.
it's a hard R, so it's not family fun, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't think it's going to be the Penguin, you know what I mean? Like, Penguin is, like, dark.
No, but Nathan Fillion has said that he says fuck in Lanterns more than he's ever said in his career.
Yeah, but that's fine. I think that's as long as it's not like
At the same time, I have no idea how much he said fuck in his career.
Not probably not a lot, actually. Keeping in mind the fact that people are kind of okay with harder edge stuff on TV more than they are in the movies.
Yeah.
And also keeping in mind the fact that we're really putting out there a lot of our own ideas, because like, what is the crime? It's a murder, but like, is it just like a regular murder? Is it like a sexual murder? You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference between like what you can show your teenagers and what you might feel weird about.
Well, I imagine it's going to be a space murder.
It might be, yeah. Who knows?
I mean, the Lanterns are involved, so
Yeah.
it's probably
Seems
something
plausible.
cosmic, like,
Seems plausible. But I think it's going to be lighter than you think. I think that the show has to have a certain amount of lightness in order to have Guy Gardner show up and not break the show.
Yes, I agree.
That's the thing. Guy Gardner, especially after this movie, is so clearly quite a broad character.
Yeah.
And if he's going to show up in the show, there has to be space.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to be very jarring.
It's going to be crazy that this guy shows up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll see. I mean, Clayface is going to be dark. That's a $40
Clayface
million.
is going to be dark. That's the one I forgot about, yeah.
But the audience is going to get that, though. They're not going to have a problem with that. Supergirl's going to have to maintain a certain level of lightness because, again, people are going to want to take their kids, and it's going to be PG-13. They're not making an R-rated Supergirl.
No, they're definitely not making an R-rated.
It's going to have that level of emotion and stuff. But I think like her partying is going to be fun, kind of partying until it's not fun, that kind of stuff. Like, I think it'll be.
I mean, that's one thing because in the comic, her partying is the first couple of pages, and then that's the end of the partying. Like, then she's on her quest with Ruthie to go get revenge. So
I mean, I imagine that her partying will not take up a lot of the movie because that's a reason why they established that in Superman.
Yeah.
To get that out of the way, and they're going to hit that probably for 10 minutes as an intro, and then she's going to have to go. I mean, whether or not it's revenge that she's after might be a different question.
Yeah.
She's out to rescue somebody or help somebody as opposed to go kill somebody. That might be the deal,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see.
See, you're doing the traditional thing that I do at Marvel, which is that I'm too deep in all that shit. Yeah. And so, as a result, I end up thinking, what is that
Thinking
noise?
about it hard.
Do you hear that noise?
No. What?
I hear a crazy noise. Hold on. It's not coming from my mic. Is your AC on?
No, my fan is on, but not my AC.
Maybe that's what I'm hearing?
Maybe. Well, I'll turn it off after news. Or after
Oh, fine. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Sorry, I'm being a pain in the ass right now.
Sorry. Yeah.
So anyway, I get a little bit too, like when they announce the title of a Marvel movie and it's based on a storyline, the title, I go, oh, it must be this, this, and this. It's not, like,
Yeah.
and I get a little bit too, I read a little bit too much into stuff that is not necessarily need to be read into.
That's true. That's very true.
So
Very true. We'll see. We'll see what they do. We shall find out. Well, you ruined the final news story.
which is what?
The Supergirl poster. Yeah.
You brought it up.
I thought you did.
No,
Whoever brought it up.
No, you said it's in the news document.
Oh, that's what I did. Ruined.
Don't blame me. I didn't do anything.
But other news stories include Skylar Gisondo said that he thought he was auditioning for the role of Superman.
Incredible story.
Yes, he said, we auditioned, I sent in a tape, and my reps called, and they were like, they want you to come back in. I was like, oh, great. And just to clarify, I know it's dummy sides. It's for Superman, right? And the phone went kind of silent. And then one of them was like, no, they weren't dummy sides. It said Jimmy. And I was like, right. Also, they were like, how'd you get a callback when you didn't even know what you were auditioning for? I don't know how, but it worked out. So that's
amazing.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah. I watched a longer interview where he discussed that more, and he was like, Gunn, he does these comic book movies, but he's not afraid to change things from how they're in the comics. So I was like, oh, he's going for like a really different kind of Superman, I guess.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, thank goodness they called him back, because
he's amazing. He's incredible.
He is great.
Yeah, we love him. We love this Jimmy Olsen.
He's become a little meme machine. Superman's got a lot of memes out there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And then Vincent D'Onofrio put up a post on, I guess, Instagram today or Twitter or whatever, and said that he's all done with Daredevil season 2. He's wrapped. They've wrapped shooting. The season is complete. We'll see if they refilm all of it or not.
I think somebody on the Discord mentioned this, which is that the picture he put is him with his dog, and they were like, "Oh, great! They saw Superman and had to shove a dog into Daredevil immediately."
I made that joke with Fantastic Four. That on Friday they put out images from Fantastic Four. One of them is the Thing with a dog.
Oh yeah,
and I put that in Discord. And it was like, look, they added Thing Dog to the movie. Yeah. And then finally, John Malkovich has been red ghosted. He has been cut out of Fantastic Four. So that is official.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, not that crazy. It probably is a minor fucking
like
thing, is my guess.
Thing or something, yeah.
Like, one assumes. I mean, but like, who knows? Like, it's crazy. It's wild, man. Because you got John Malkovich, man, and like, just go with it. Like, just go with it.
Yeah. Let the movie be a little longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe it just didn't work with the pacing.
Yeah, who knows?
Too long to get to where it needed to be.
They did cut some time out of that movie.
Yeah.
So, well, also, what's her name? Kristen Ritter spoke up about Daredevil season 2.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she said that she's so excited that the news is out there because she's been having to be quiet about it for 2 years and it's torture.
That's got to be tough. That's got to be.
No, that's got to be really tough. That's got to be really, really tough. And so I think that's really interesting, like that, because there's been like a lot of discussion about how the decisions were made on this show. Do you know what I mean? Like, how much were they ever going to make it connected to Daredevil, the Netflix show? And the fact that she knew 2 years ago they were going to bring her back, that they had already got her signed up and everything, indicates that there's more thought being put into this than maybe some people thought there might be when they reshot the entire show.
I agree, but also I feel like if there was more thought put into it, she would have shown up in that last scene of season 1 where they're all in the bar.
She may not have been available, honestly.
You do Arrested Development season 5 or whatever. You just green screen her in,
I don't know. So maybe.
It would have helped with how lackluster that was.
I mean, it's a real bad ending. It's like having both of us having enjoyed that show more or less. That ending is just nonsense.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah,
it's a toughie. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
There's a couple of other things that you might have missed. It seems like One is that big rumor going around is that Samuel L. Jackson has filmed a Doomsday scene this week, and he's filmed it with Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, which I think is really interesting because those guys are on the two different Avengers teams.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if that scene is, hey, I know you guys are buddies, and I know that you're on different Avengers teams, but now it's time to put everything aside and like fucking work together. I mean, I wonder if that's kind of the deal here. I'm kind
This
of
is
curious.
what I'm hoping it is.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they're in court trying to decide who gets the Avengers name. And then Sam Jackson comes crashing in. He's like, hold on. I'm the one who came up with it. It's my IP. And they're like, oh, this throws the whole case out of whack.
Oh man! Another thing I thought was really interesting is that David Corenswet, I think, met James Gunn when he was auditioning for Adam Warlock for Guardians 3.
Yes, they which is doubly interesting because Cornsweet auditioned for Guardians 3 for Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
But Gunn also says he was watching the movie Pearl, and that's how he discovered Cornsweet. That he was watching that, and he contacted the Superman's casting director. He's like, hey, bring this guy in. He's really good in this movie. So I believe Pearl was filmed after Guardians 3, wasn't it?
I mean, that's interesting because that might indicate that actually, yeah, it definitely was. It might well, maybe. It would indicate that because Pearl came out in 2022, Guardians came out in 2023, but Pearl probably had a shorter turnaround time, if I had to guess. I don't know. It's hard to say. But it's possible that Corenswet's audition never made it to Gunn. I mean, that's what a casting director is there for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to take all these things and, like, you know, he
Just
may not be
beat it
sitting in
down,
on
yeah.
every single audition. Like,
Yeah, they get a bunch of tapes, and then the casting director shows them the ones that they think are the best.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe he never saw him. That's actually even more interesting, is if their paths did not cross there.
Yeah.
But now they have.
Yeah. I imagine Cornsweet's much happier being Superman than being Adam Warlock.
Oh, yeah. I know without a doubt, especially having seen Guardians 3.
Yeah. Adam Warlock doesn't have much to do in that movie.
There's no fucking question about that. Yeah, that is definitely what you want to be doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. We got any questions?
We do. We have 3 questions, as usual. Our first question is from Wilma Cockfit. It is a longtime listener here. Love the show. Derek has mentioned he's worked at Activision in the past, back when they had multiple Marvel licenses, and I was wondering if he worked on any Spider-Man games and what that experience was like for a huge Spidey fan. Thank you both for putting on an entertaining show. I look forward to it every week. You're welcome. I did work on a lot of the Spider-Man games. My first game at Activision, I started off as a tester at Activision, moved up to project lead, which is like I led testing teams of upwards of about 200 people. But my first project was the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie game. And from that, me and a couple of other people kind of became Activision QA's Marvel team, which we wouldn't work on every Marvel game, but they would bring us into every Marvel game for like a day or so at least to play it and to give feedback. And, you know, if character names were dropped or whatever, it'd be like, hey, this is misspelled, or hey, that's not who this character is, just to make sure things were proper.
Mm-hmm.
And then I worked on that first Spider-Man game, and then when they were doing Ultimate Spider-Man, I was supposed to be the project lead for that project.
Okay.
And they told me on like a Friday. That day I went out and I had not read Ultimate Spider-Man, but the Ultimate Spider-Man 50-issue omnibus had just come out.
Okay.
So I went to Barnes & Noble's, I bought it, I read it through the weekend. On Monday, I met with the production team. I sat down, I played Ultimate Spider-Man for a little bit. It was a very early version, and I want to be very clear, I'm not the hero in this story. It was a very early version. I meet with the production team, and they say, what do you think of the game? And I said, I think I think it's wrong. I think it's all wrong. I think you guys are off on the wrong step. And I started spouting out things that they could do and change and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, great, thanks. And an hour later, My boss came up to me. He's like, "Hey, guess what? You're not on Ultimate Spider-Man anymore. They've asked to take you off of it." And I said,
"Wow, you got
yes."
canned."
And I got put on True Crime New York, which is arguably the worst Activision game ever made. And that was my punishment. That started in a very different way. That's a story for another day.
Wow.
But yeah, I screwed up. I screwed up real hard by being too deep into it and be like, "This is not the way to do it." So I overstepped my bounds. It was not the producers. It was not the developer. It was me.
All right.
So,
all right.
Yeah. This next question you have to ask.
All right, fine. Trevor asks, when I recently rewatched BVS for your Watchmen episode, excellent, by the way. Thank you, Trevor. And by the way, if you're listening to this right now, we have a Watchmen episode live right now about Superman, James Gunn's Superman. If you're listening to this on the $1 level, then you need to get up to the $5 level or above to listen to that. We think it's really good. There's going to be a Fantastic Four episode this month as well. We're getting 2 episodes this month. And if you're listening to this on a free podcast, what you want to do is you want to go to www.patreon.com/cinemasangha, SANGHA, and you want to sign up at the $5 or above level to get Superman and, in a week or two, Fantastic Four. Anyway, he says, I was struck by one thing Snyder's Superman does again and again. Every time he lands, he slams into the ground, making it crack, and every time he takes off, he causes a crazy shockwave. I know Snyder's going for the visual and trying to show Superman as a god, and I accept that Supes would need to tear ass in emergencies, but he does this even in scenes where there's no urgent reason for him to move this fast. It bothers me that Gunn would not care if he's terrifying people or pets on the street, or causing damage to streets, sidewalks, foundations, plumbing lines, etc. That stuff is tough and expensive to fix. In Gunn's Superman, the post-credit scene where he gives Mr. Terrific shit about not lining the building back up perfectly felt like a welcome repudiation of the carelessness of Snyder's Supes. However, I've only seen it once. Derek, now that you've seen the film approximately 15 times, am I forgetting any other times in Gunn's Superman where he takes off or lands like Cavill when it's not necessary?
I can't answer that question.
Is there any point where Superman takes off or lands in a way that causes damage that feels excessive for the moment?
Not that I remember.
This Superman doesn't do that. Like, there's a bit in the fight against the kaiju where he saves that little girl, and then the squirrel. But after the little girl, though, he goes and yells up at the Justice Gang and says, "Be careful!" So it's a very different kind of thing, you know. So I think that's like what we're looking at here is sort of like this Superman is fundamentally different from that Superman in every possible way. And this Superman, I would say, the reason why Snyder's stuff, his superhero stuff, is fascist coded is because it's a celebration of the power. And this Superman is not about celebrating the power. It's about celebrating the decision to use power wisely. And that's a very different thing. So for Snyder, as like a gym bro and stuff like that, the actual having the power and using it is in of itself a good. And that's a particularly fascist point of view. I'm not saying he's a fascist. I'm saying that's a sort of on the fascist side of things. But for Gunn, having power is a gift for Superman, and it's something that he has to make the choice to use correctly. And that's what makes him a hero, is that he uses his powers correctly and, frankly, sparingly. So
there you go.
You got nothing else to say, huh?
I cannot talk about that. I've made my feelings on that clear.
They're going to ask you questions about this all the time now that you said that.
Yeah, and you're going to have to answer them because I'm not doing it. I've said what I've had to say. You can listen to 2 Watchmens ago to find out what my statement was.
Okay.
James Pace says, what are your holy grails of unreleased, unfinished movies? Example, The Day the Clown Cried. Mine would be Batgirl or the Lord and Miller cut of Solo or the R-rated cut of Can't Hardly Wait. I'd like to see Batgirl. You know, I really thought the Batgirl suit looked really good. The stuff that we saw from like on-set leaks and whatnot, I thought looked pretty good.
Yeah.
There was a clip that came out of like an unfinished fight scene that was really cool looking. I would like to see that very much. That would be on mine.
Yeah.
I'd love to see all of the footage of Eric Stoltz in Back to the Future.
Okay.
I'd be very interested to see how that looks and
Uh-huh.
plays. But that's not a complete. So that would be the unfinished part of this, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, and that would do it for me.
Huh. The first movie that comes to mind is going to definitely be, and this is going to be reflect who I am as a person, frankly. It is Friday the 13th, Part 7,
Oh,
which is a movie I don't like.
Yeah.
However, the fact of the matter is that I don't like the finished movie, which is essentially a PG-rated movie.
Yeah.
That the MPAA destroyed that film. And that, I think, is definitely one that I want to see the real version of it before. Like, I don't like it, but I want to see the real version of it. That feels like important to me because it feels unfair that I'm really kind of like hating on this movie so deeply when in fact it's just not really.
It's not the movie.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't the movie. Man, I'm trying to think what else.
I'd also on the TV side, Netflix made an entire season of a Grendel series based on the Matt Wagner comic, and then shelved it. And I would like to see that. I'd be very interested to see how that turned out, because I love Grendel. So
Right.
I'd like to see that very much.
I mean, most of the movie.
No one cares about that one, which is always confusing to me.
Yeah, no, nobody cares. Nobody cares about that character.
Well, just like people, when Batgirl got canned, and for a time, Coyote v. Acme, people were like, "This is disgusting. Studios should never do this." And then studios have done it with other movies, and everyone's like, "Whatever."
I mean, it's happened a bunch. I mean, the thing is that there comes. It's kind of crazy that that movie got shelved when it was done. That's rare.
Yeah.
Movies get cut and killed while being produced. That has definitely happened. But like, I think that is really, really unique in a lot of ways. I think. Oh, that noise is definitely on your end because you just muted your mic and the noise went away.
Okay, great. Let's discuss
It's your fan. It's your fan. I would say that the other thing is like, so in terms of like what movies, I can't think of any that are finished that I'm really interested in, but I do think that I would love to see. I mean, everybody wants to see like the Kubrick Napoleon, although I'm like a little bit less interested in that maybe than other people are. The one that I keep thinking about, Something's Got to Give, is this Marilyn Monroe movie that she got fired from, and then they hired her again, but she died before they could start shooting it again.
Yeah.
And then Game of Death, the original Game of Death, Bruce Lee died during the shooting of that. They ended up releasing it, but like it was like fucked up. Like it's like, like they're shooting around a dead guy the whole time.
Yeah.
That's like a big one too. Like, but that one you would really need to have like him not die, sort of. There's another movie. I'm really interested in movies people died during. It doesn't happen that often. But River Phoenix's final movie is called Dark Blood, and they filmed like almost the entire movie. They had like 90% of it done, and then he died. Okay. And that's pretty crazy. There's another really good one that I've always been super interested in. It's called Broadway Brawler, and that's a movie that Bruce Willis was going to play a hockey player, and Maura Tierney was going to be the love interest. Oh. And Bruce Willis got into a lot of fights with the director, and 20 or so days into making it, they shut it down.
Okay, wow.
So Bruce Willis got that movie killed.
Wow.
Yeah, there is. I think there's like
there's one. I don't remember the name of it, but there's one there's a movie that stars like very early before he was famous, DiCaprio, and I think like one or two other like now stars, but at the time unknowns are in it. That DiCaprio sued to keep from coming out, and I want to see that because that must be so terrible.
Do you think it's like a real movie that he's in, or do you think that it's like
it's something like
he's like a tiny role?
No, he's like a major role, but it's something like him and his buddies made, and it's like apparently like akin to like a bunch of guys goofing around and like, let's make a movie. And then they made a terrible movie. And then DiCaprio hit big and he was like, we got to make sure this never comes out. And I'd love to see that. I think Tobey Maguire's in it too.
That makes sense. Those guys that was the Pussy
it was
Posse.
it was that whole group hanging out. Yeah.
The Pussy Posse. There's a couple of other ones that are, but it's like very rare to get movies that are totally finished that get shelved, or if they do get shelved. Though, actually, a recent one, I'm here looking this up right now. A recent one was this Halle Berry movie that got disappeared.
Yeah?
Yeah, The Mothership.
Oh, yeah, I heard
They just fucking disappeared it. And apparently it got canceled because post-production was a disaster and it was costing too much money, and they just said, fuck it. And they said, and they couldn't do reshoots because there were a lot of kid actors in the movie, and by the time they were going to go back for reshoots, they were all too old to reshoot the scenes, so they'd have to reshoot the whole movie. Which is pretty amazing. Yeah. So, I think that's the one that's really. There's always a couple though. There's always a couple that are like hanging around, that like. There's Terry Gilliam's,
like 3, right?
the man who killed Don Quixote is one. Terry Gilliam's movie, and that one got abandoned. They definitely had. Did they make it? I'm trying. I
thought they released a version of it.
They released a version of it at Cannes, but then what ended up happening is there was like a big fucking legal problem, and so the movie got shown in France, but I don't know if you can get it anywhere.
Okay. There is one that.
You can. I'm looking at right now. There's a 2-hour cut of the movie on Hulu. Wow, there you go. That's crazy.
There's one that you've seen that I'd like to see, and it's called Horizon Chapter 2.
Yeah, that's one that may never be released. Yeah, that's one that may never ever get released.
Especially now, there's a bunch of lawsuits over the first one.
Yeah, and it's a mess. It's a disaster. And I liked Chapter 2 quite a bit. So I do hope people get to see it, and I do hope that there is a Chapter 3, because I do want to see Kevin Costner fighting Confederates on a train, which is in fact something they tease in the trailer at the end of the movie. So, all right, those are our questions, right?
That's the 3.
All right, so let us talk now about Fantastic Four Annual number 6.
First, you can send your own questions to ask.cinema.sanga@gmail.com. Put the name of the show you want, either Bad Batch or Marvel Vision, in the subject line, and then ask your question. And sooner or later, we'll answer it here.
All right. Now you're ready to talk about Fantastic Four Annual number 6, the first appearance of Franklin Richards?
Yes.
Let's do it. Fantastic Four Annual number 6, Let There Be Life. The fabulous FF fight a fight that can't be won.
Spoilers, they win.
Featuring the glory of birth. 'Neath the shadow of death. So it opens with Reed Richards, a splash page of Reed Richards looking at a special Jack Kirby microscope, and Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm are there, and they're like, "What are you doing here? Susie's in the hospital. She's about to give birth to your kid." And Reed Richards, ever the sensible man, says, "Shut up!"
I hope this is what he's like in the movie.
I know what I'm doing.
I also hope that Pedro Pascal follows the exact cadence that Stan Lee has Mr. Fantastic talk, because Mr. Fantastic, as far as I can tell in this comic, talks like William Shatner. Like he's constantly like, "This is what we're going to do now," and it's like what's with the pauses, my man?
Reed's maybe a dick because he reveals to Johnny and Ben that Sue still has cosmic radiation in her blood, and that this could kill her and the baby during childbirth. And Johnny says, "Why didn't you say something if you knew this all along?" And Reed goes, "It's too late for talk, boy."
Yep.
So
it's
good.
amazing.
This is like a couple of years into Fantastic Four. They have 75 issues. It's towards the end because obviously they get to 100 for Jack and Stan.
Yeah.
But like this is not like early unformed Reed Richards. This is
full on.
their version of Reed Richards. It's pretty good. So basically he says there's one thing that can save her life. It's an element that can save her. It's made out of antimatter, and it's only found, it turns out, in the negative zone. And Johnny's like, "You're gonna fucking die if you go in the negative zone. We've already been there one time, and you barely made it out alive." And Ben's like, "Yeah, no, the kid's right." And he goes, "Forget it. What does my life matter now?"
Why is it that pause?
So Reed's going to go into the negative zone, and he says he's going to do it by himself. Johnny and Ben are like, "No, we're going to go with you." He's like, "It's my wife. I'm not letting you all sacrifice your lives for my child." And Johnny's like, "Hey, she's my sister, man. Of course I'm going to help." And Ben's like, "What else am I going to do?" I got nothing else. They won't let me in the delivery room. Yeah, they won't let me in the delivery room. So they go to the negative zone. They have to go through like a whole bunch of fucking...
Well, first, all of this, by the way, I think Reed is doing like some reverse psychology on them.
He's trying to get them to go?
He's trying to get them to go because he's putting on like this gear, and then he's like, "Fine, I guess you guys can come." And he's got a second set of gear for the Thing. He's like, "You put this on." And it's like, man, you just happen to have one for the Thing built when you had no plans to ever bring these people there? Come on.
Actually, I buy this because I buy that once they went to the negative zone, Reed does sit down and go, "Okay, if we ever have to do this again, what are we going to do?" And so he makes Ben his antimatter repulsor gear or whatever. Right. And so I actually buy that it's not just him being a jerk. I buy that Reed, as soon as he came back from the negative zone, was like, "Okay, we're going to put this thing behind 75 doors," which is what they do in the Baxter building. But if we have to go. Meanwhile, back in the negative zone, we see a bunch of weird-ass aliens getting obliterated by a spaceship. And there's a really good bit here. Jack does this really nicely. The spaceship obliterates everybody and hovers over all their dead bodies. And then, like, a hand opens a hatch, like on a submarine. And it's like this armored hand. And it's fucking Annihilus, the bug man.
Annihilus, he who annihilates. Not the best Stanley work there.
He's the living death that walks, though, also.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
pretty good one. So it turns out that Annihilus stands supreme in this universe, and that only by destroying life can he stay alive forever. So back on Earth, they make their way through all the doors, and then they go and they jump into the negative zone, and this is a nice chance for Jack. He gets to really have fun here.
He goes wild on it. I love the shot where it's all red with the Kirby dots making everything is so cool looking.
Yeah, it's really great. And then
we get into the collages.
We get into the weird zone, and then we get to the collages. Those collages he first did in Fantastic Four 51, I want to say. I have seen those pages in person.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. They look great. They look really, really good. Yeah, there was a Jack Kirby exhibit at Northridge College here in L.A. a bunch of years ago, and I went, and they had those original collage pages. They might have had this page here with Reed all by himself against the city or whatever it is in the background. But this is like just Jack having the fucking time of his life, and he's like pushing the boundaries on like what he does here. Like that's like I think the stuff that's really interesting to him at this point in his career.
It's a real bummer to see these pages, and it's like this is how Jack Kirby imagined the negative zone. And then in the 2015 movie where they're like, I don't know, maybe it's a bunch of rocks and everything's kind of red. And it's like, man, look at how cool this could have looked.
Well, I will say this, is that this is a part of the negative zone.
Yes,
they're traveling through parts of the negative zone. Like, when they kind of get to Annihilus' planet, it's not that interesting, frankly.
No, then it's just like, oh, we'll just land on this rock. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is a little bit accurate, that movie. It's a little bit comic accurate, it turns out.
But to me, these two pages, or double page spread, are kind of like Jack saying, like, look, I'm not going to do this for the whole issue, but just imagine this the whole time.
Yeah, I guess that could be the way you look at it. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it is interesting because they are passing through phases of the negative zone. They talk about it. They're like, we're entering the next area. And then when they're leaving, they know that they're almost out because they're going back through these zones again. So yeah, you're right. I mean, but comic books could not match what Jack Kirby had in his head, and neither could comic book movies.
God, imagine what Kirby could do with like today's computer stuff that they can do with comics, like the tablets and whatnot that they use to draw comics now. He would go crazy.
You think he would want to use that stuff?
I think to do like collage stuff like that, he'd be like, "Oh my god, this is so much easier, and I can do, like, it's so much more fun. I can pop things in and out and like play with sizes of everything." And yeah, I think he'd have a blast with it.
I'm kind of curious because I know that collage art back in the day, like when he was picking up from like artists that were doing collage art, that was like a thing, and there was a physicality to it that was part of the point. It was taking things from elsewhere and then putting them in a new environment surrounded by new things. So it was a transformation of existing elements as opposed to anything else. Do you know what I mean? And those elements here, he makes those elements not quite 100%. He's using a textured paper and shit like that to create some of these collages. Maybe he would. Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm actually curious what his thoughts would be about all the digital technology.
I think he would dig it. I think in the least he would try it out and see how it feels.
He'd definitely try it out. What would Jack Kirby say today about digital technology? And what he would say would be, "Help, I'm trapped in this box. Get me out of here.
Leave me alone. I'm dead.
I'm dead. Leave me be." But yeah, there's Nazis again. Oh, fuck.
I gotta go punch some people. Just tell me Stan's not around.
Some weird-ass dinosaur man grabs Reed and starts flying him away. I don't know what Reed is thinking here, because Johnny's like, "I will come and use my flames to get this guy off of you." And Reed's like, "No, don't. I wrap myself around every single piece of this man's body."
Yeah.
So the dinosaur man takes him to some planetoid, and then this is one of those really good Stan Lee bits where Jack has turned in these pages, and then Stan has to try to figure out how to let the audience know what's happening, per se.
What is going on? Yeah.
Because, and now, this is not a complaint about Jack's storytelling.
No.
But, like, Stan's like, "I'm writing this thing for 12-year-olds. Like, they gotta know what's happening from panel to panel. And this is, like, a lot of, like, stuff happening, but, like, it's not always 100%. So he has to have Reed fucking just narrate every goddamn thing that happens to him as this is going on, and it's like an endless narration. But we're reading this in the facsimile edition, and we got the ads here, and we got an ad for Spectacular Spider-Man #2, now in full color, and then we got an ad for Muscle Beach, babies, how to look like the most handsome, muscular men on Muscle Beach.
$9.98.
Have you watched, there's a guy that does TikToks and Instagram Reels of where it's Donald Trump was born to be gay. And he takes Donald Trump clips and he lip syncs to them. And he's a gay guy. And he just does like the most flaming, but it fits perfectly. And one of the ones that he uses is Donald Trump at a rally. I'm not going to try to do a Donald Trump impression here. It's Donald Trump at a rally. Go, "Look at that guy. Look at the muscles on that guy. Those are great muscles. Let me touch those muscles. Look at this guy in this shirt. It's a perfect shirt." And so as soon as I saw this, I was like, I wonder if Donald Trump, as a young man, was paging through comic books and got stuck here on the "look what's happening at Muscle Beach." The thing is that Donald Trump is a queen, and it's really fascinating in that, like, he loves cats. You know what I mean? Like, he gets into fights. I mean, I was listening to a podcast today about this stuff, and they're like, "Listen, Donald Trump got into a multi-year argument with Bette Midler." Like, that is like... I mean, come on. Like, that's, it's so funny. But the point that on this podcast we're making is that all of these MAGA guys are like, he's the most masculine. He's like the most, he's the ultimate man.
He's a catty little man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a total queen. And like, but they pretend to themselves that he's like the most masculine guy. And he's like, "Look at the muscles on this guy over here."
Yeah.
So anyway, Stan has got to figure out how to make this. Again, I don't think it's hard to understand what's happening, but like he's trying to make sure that you truly understand. And so he'll be like, "He's releasing me, hurling me towards the approaching device. It's some sort of magnetic trap, holding me. I can't break free. it's reverse direction, pulling me downward now, and that's all obvious. Like you can see the action lines and shit like that. But my favorite part in this endless thing, he says, "Slackening speed must be nearing the end." Slackening speed sounds like some superhero's like catchphrase.
It does.
Like,
it does.
Slackening speed, Jimmy.
Yeah. My personal favorite is I'm still a prisoner. Like it's just the next panel. We can figure that one out.
And it also says seconds later.
Yes,
so like, yeah, of course he's still a prisoner.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by weird monsters, and they're reaching for his harness. Meanwhile, we cut to the hospital, and who's there but Crystal from the Inhumans? And she is hanging out in the waiting room, and all the doctors are looking pretty bad. I think this comic doesn't tell us this is Crystal, right?
No, I don't think they ever say her name. No.
Yeah.
No.
You know,
I have a question about Crystal.
What's that?
And you know Marvel far better than I do.
Yeah.
Her hair thing, where it's like black, and then in the back it's like a circle. Is that like a hairband, or does she dye her hair that way? How does that work?
I'm not sure if we know how that actually happens. I think that her hair just looks like that, I think. Okay. Which, by the way, when they made this comic, when Jack designed that, I think you could not have done really well. But today they can do incredible things with hair dyeing. Like, they can do incredible patterns and stuff that like is like really nuts. I want to see somebody go to the hairdresser and get the crystal.
Yeah.
I want to see that happen.
I would bring that in and be like, give me this.
Give me this. So she sees
like, you have to stop shaving your head for like 3 years so there's enough hair.
She sees all the doctors looking really upset and being quiet, so she goes and busts into one of the labs and is like, "Doctor, I must see you. I must know what's wrong." With Sue Storm.
Yes. Again, the pauses.
Yeah.
I like that the doctor says, "Come in, shut the door."
He goes, "You shouldn't be here, but since you are, I'm going to tell you everything." I like that very much. Crystal has a line here that so captures the 60s attitude toward women. She's always been so healthy, so uncomplaining.
Amazing. Amazing.
I mean, that's not a good sign necessarily, Crystal. That means that women's pain is not taken seriously. Still to this day, but especially back then. They look through the microscope and they see there's all kinds of cosmic explosions happening inside of her blood, which is obviously bad. So
how long do you think the doctor was just staring at it, being like, "What the fuck?"
He's actually on acid.
Yeah, she looks and she's like, "There's nothing in the slide.
It's just blood, man. I don't know what you're talking about."
What, really? Oh, shit.
Johnny and Ben follow where the dinosaur man took Reed, and they get down, and they're like, they can't. It's a very small. It's like the little Prince's moon, basically. Yes. They you can pretty much see the whole thing, and they can't find Reed, so they begin just ripping the moon to pieces. I actually like a lot. Neither one of these, that's like what these guys would do. Neither one of them are particularly bright. You know what I mean? No. Like, fuck it, we're just going to rip this place to hell.
I like the part where Johnny's like, "We have to come up with a plan." And he says, "With Reed gone, it's up to us to do the thinking. Now, what do we know? A, he landed here. B, we can find him. Therefore..." He has no answer. I love. He's just like, "Oh, I'm out of ideas. I don't know."
Yeah, it's really good. The thing is, he can't say anything because a giant glass dome comes over them, and they get sucked down into the center of their planet. And Annihilus is laughing his ass off. He's like, "You've been punked. You've been straight up punked. Hi, my name is Annihilus, and this is Jackass."
By the way, Annihilus is so cool looking.
He's so cool looking, and nobody makes him this cool looking.
No. Like, this shot of him like laughing at them with his mouth open and stuff, it's so cool looking.
I think in a lot of these shots, Jack makes his head too big, but that's great. Like, that's what it should be. Yeah. Like, his head is too long. Like, he has too much mouth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it really is cool. And I think that it's, like, not always how you see Annihilus. And this is one of those characters where if they were ever to put him in a movie, he won't look like this. They will not, and you kind of can't because he's going to look.
I mean, they might do the helmet, but they're not going to be like. Oh, also, he should have like big spike shoulder pads and and a giant head and like a big purple, who knows what it is around his head.
He's kind of like pinkish purple and green. That may not be his color scheme in the MCU should he show up. Although, now that we have Fantastic Four coming to the MCU, there's a non-zero chance that Annihilus shows up. And honestly, like if you were to be looking at your next phase post Mutants, I think Annihilation is probably a pretty good way to go. In terms of like what your big crossover is going to end up being, like because you get like really nice cosmic stuff, and you can kind of bring all those pieces together, and you can get those Earthbound characters back out into space and do more space stuff. They did like a little bit of space stuff in Avengers, but
but not much. And in Shang-Chi, they set up like a whole space thing at the end. So
Marvels
had a lot of space stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of space stuff in the Marvels, but not a human being saw it, and those who did.
And Guardians was all space stuff.
Well, that's the thing. I'm saying you would bring those the main characters from Marvel up there. Yeah. So instead of like the Guardians coming to Earth or Captain Marvel coming to Earth, you'd have Spider-Man, who's already been to outer space, but like would now be like involved like in a galactic storm kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I guess Galactic Storm is actually a reasonable thing for them to build towards. It feels like they have to do an outer space thing.
I agree.
You know what I mean? It feels like after the multiverse, you got to start doing space. Like that's where they've opened the door, but they got to really go there. So, Annihilus is like pretty excited because he got these 3 weird humans, and he's going to figure out what their powers are and where it comes from, and he's gonna use them to power himself. And
then he gets all pouty.
Well, then he gets. What happens is
he's standing like a kid at the table who doesn't want to eat his Brussels sprouts. Got his arms up. He's like,
well, he kind of works himself into like a foam over here because he starts explaining what his deal is, and he tells us that he has the cosmic control rod on his chest, and it will make him immortal. And then he fucking screams out by himself, "And not man nor beast shall ever wrest it from me."
Yep. I think if anything, that's actually a threat towards DC to like, hey, don't sue us for using the same name as Starman's wand. That's what that is.
And then if we're reading this in the facsimile, we have another ad, which is a very honest ad. This candy bar can help you gain lots of weight. Candy bars can definitely do that.
Yes. There are 3 separate quotes from 3 separate people.
Yeah.
It's the same quote every time. Stop being skinny. Each one. Stop being skinny. Stop being skinny.
It is really funny how different the world is for nerds, because back then nerds were skinny little dorks.
Yeah.
And like if you're reading a comic book and you're old enough to buy your own stuff, you're a skinny dork. But today everybody's fat. There's almost no skinny dorks. They're very rare.
Also, what is the little guy on the right-hand side doing? Is he chewing on like a spring? I can't tell what he's doing.
I think he's eating a tampon.
I can't tell. I have no idea.
He heard there was protein in blood, so he's trying to bulk up. It's really weird. I don't know what's happening.
It looked like maybe he like was working out so hard he's having a fit. And he's like, I can't swallow my tongue. He's got to hold himself back. I don't know.
It looks like they might have cut that picture out of a bondage magazine, honestly. It's pretty. Once again, what did Donald Trump think of this page? Now Annihilus is going to go check out the prisoners. All who live, he says, are enemies of Annihilus. And brother, I feel that. I truly. You ever been on a fucking bus that's crowded? That is the feeling you get. All who live are enemies of Devin Faraci. And he needs to figure out their strengths and weaknesses. He goes to the space jail that he has Reed Richards in, and all the other space prisoners show up, and he's like, get the fuck out of the way. I want that guy. And then, once again, Jack gets to draw weird alien guys.
Yes.
There's a good lion guy here.
There's a
good, like, fuzzy guy.
There's a good fuzzy guy. There's, in one of these shots, in one of these pages, there's a good, like, really sad-looking, like, pudding man. I really connected with that guy. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, man.
Annihilus is real stupid. There's a really good like little fish man on the next page. Annihilus is really stupid. He opens the jail cell and Reed just punches him in the face.
Whacks him. Yeah.
So he's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to save Sue. 100 of you could never stop me from fulfilling this mission. And I was like, mission, get the fuck out of here. And he hurls him back without moving a muscle. And he's like, I was like, I could have fucking killed you, bro. Like, if I wanted to, like the cosmic control rod. And Reed's like, oh, the cosmic control rod. That's obviously what I'm looking for. This is why I love old comics. We just get to it, man. Like, Reed doesn't have to spend a lot of time figuring it out.
No, he doesn't. I forgot. There was a bit earlier when they first got to the negative zone. And, Reed and Ben are wearing their special gear. Yeah. And Ben's like, Johnny, why don't you have to wear it? And he's like, well, when I flame on, the antimatter can't affect me. And it's like, what? Okay, sure.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Also, Johnny, you're there and you're not flamed on, so you're in a lot of trouble. And later on, he's like, I can't flame on. It's like, oh, you're going to die. You're being just bombarded by antimatter then.
Well, he's not. If any antimatter touched him, he'd blow up.
Yeah.
So we have a whole sequence that illustrates this.
Yeah.
The next ad is for earn your high school diploma by mail, and you'll even get a high school ring.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's pretty nice. Corresponding credit for high school. Very good. Good for the kids. So Reed realizes that the cosmic control rod's what he needs to save Sue and the baby. And, here's the sad pudding guy.
Yes, there he is. Sad pudding guy. Look at him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting blasted back by Annihilus, who's like, fuck all of you.
I guess he might be kind of like a sad octopus guy. I'm guessing those tentacles are his.
Maybe. We'll never know because Annihilus immediately disintegrates everybody.
Them all out. Yeah.
And Reed's like, I gotta fucking get this cosmic control rod. Annihilus is like, don't even fucking move towards me, buddy. I will kill you. And I will prove to you that I am the master. And then he blasts him again into a room where Johnny and Ben already are. And they have their little reunion.
This first panel on page 16, I am 95% sure that Keith Giffen just traced it for an issue of Ambush Bug.
Yeah, I would actually. It really has that vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Turns out Annihilus is a vast arena of execution. I mean, you got it. You got it. Like, if you're good at this kind of guy, they all have vast arenas.
If your name is Annihilus, the Annihilator, you got to live up to it.
He shows up and Reed fills everybody in about Annihilus and about the cosmic control rod, and Ben says, no negative zone nut with a cornball name is going to stop us. Yeah. I really like that a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then a Kirby machine emerges.
Oh, my God, it's amazing.
It's a great Kirby machine, and Annihilus is behind it. And he's like, okay, I'm going to turn on this danger room, and I'm going to figure out what your guys' deal is. And they immediately...
I like that Reed is like, he turns to look at Ben and Johnny. He's like, you both need to pay attention. We're in great danger. And Johnny's like, he just hit a switch, idiot. Yeah.
Reed's big plan is that he's going to block the window.
Hey, you got to do something.
And the Thing and Johnny are going to go after the wall. But the thing is, they can't get through it. Like, they're blowing blows on it, and they're shooting flames, and it doesn't make a difference. And Annihilus is like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. You're going to hit my wall? Give me a break. And so he sends in... before I read the dialogue in this panel, I said, that looks like a giant fucking boot. And then sure enough, it is a giant metal boot that Annihilus...
It's on the ceiling.
It's so good. Yeah. Like, that's perfect. Like, why would you necessarily want to have some other design? Like, it should just be a big fucking boot. That's so cool, man. And so down comes this giant boot. And then we get another ad. And this is the work clothes bargain. You can get 2 complete work outfits, saving up to 80%. Also... for just $5, you can get yourself an electronic computer brain.
Yeah.
All the ads are so good, too.
It says here, train it to do your bidding.
Adds, subtracts, multiplies, memorizes, solves riddles, even tells fortunes. That's like ChatGPT. You know, you read about people who think that ChatGPT is like a visitor from another universe that's like telling them that they're like the chosen one. You've heard about these stories? I mean, like, that's like
falling in love with it and stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what's here. Even tells fortunes.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, you can get 2 work outfits for $3.45. That seems very cheap, even for the time.
It is very cheap. I will guarantee to you they are horrible.
I
guarantee that if you were doing mail order clothes through a comic book,
you know what? I'm going to go one step further. I guarantee you'll never get it.
You think so?
I would not be shocked if you send somebody some money, they just never send you anything.
I don't know. I feel like you might get like fucking like paper or something like that, like paper outfits. You know, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, the big foot smushes Ben, and then it turns out there's other weapons to kill everybody in this room. There's a giant gyro saw that comes at Reed. And the gyro saw is cool.
Engulfing sonic sponge.
Well, that's the next part. But the gyro saw is cool because it goes back and forth, like it wobbles and stuff. So so Reed can't just like stretch around it. It's going to be constantly like come at him. But then comes this very cool looking, all-engulfing sonic sponge.
I love that Reed just knows exactly what it is.
Because they have to tell you. Because even Johnny knows a thick fire extinguishing mass. I mean that you need to know what the deal is.
And it's so cool looking.
It's really cool looking. It looks like a mad ball kind of.
I do like that it's got a bullseye right on its head, so Johnny knows where to shoot.
That's its sonic eye.
Yep.
So he's being chased by this thing, and he's like, "Think, Johnny, think!" And then he goes, "Oh, of course, I just blow out its fucking eyeball, and it disintegrates." And then Reed's like, "Hey, I'm fucked over here," and Johnny's like, "Don't worry about it. I'm gonna melt that fucking gyro saw." And they go, "What about Ben? Is Ben dead?" And they're like, "Ben, we got to get you out of there." And Ben's like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna get my ass out of here." And he goes, "You think I've been resting here until you got around, so you could see me doing this?" And then he does not seem like he's full of shit because he immediately rips the fucking boot apart. Yeah, he just immediately does,
and then throws it at Annihilus.
Yeah, because Ben's like, I don't want to fucking deal with this sponge or that saw. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. Let those guys fix that, and then I'll get out of my thing. Yeah, then he throws it at Annihilus, shouting, "It's clobbering time." And he knocks Annihilus out with his own boot. And that's so good.
I love it. Oh, he's knocked out. I love it.
They grab the cosmic control rod, but now they got to get out of here. And they realize there's a rail plane sitting right there, and they're going to get on the rail plane. And they're like, if it's good enough for Annihilus, it's good enough for us. And then we get another ad. We get Black Knight, Marvel Superheroes presents Black Knight comic, and Marvel Tales with Thor, the Human Torch, and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man versus the Clown and the Masters of Menace.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff back in the day. They get into the rail plane, which I guess is just a bullet train.
It seems to be like a bullet train kind of thing. Although later on it's flying around, so I guess...
But it's on a rail here. We see
it's on a rail here, but I'm guessing when it like leaves the headquarters, so to speak, it shoots out kind of deal.
Yeah, the rail might be propelling it to like super high speeds that it then flies with. They get into the ship. There's not enough seats, but worse than that, they have no idea how to even turn this thing on. And
Ben does a whole like Marx Brothers bit.
Yeah, he sure does.
Like 2 panels of like.
He sure does.
Because Reed's like, I think I know how to do it. He's like, either you know or you don't know. You don't think. If you're thinking, you're guessing. And if you're guessing, you can't know. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, and Reed and Johnny are just ignoring him in the background.
Well, Johnny says, shut the fuck up, Ben. Like, enough of this shit. And then Reed's like, I think that this thing will respond to thought waves, and it will turn that into pure power. And sure enough, it does. And they take off. Annihilus wakes up a couple of seconds later, and he's like, ooh, I'm pretty mad. He's like, they should have fucking killed me because now I'm going to come and get them. They really screwed up this time.
My favorite page, maybe of all of comics, as it turns out.
Well, he realizes his cosmic control rod is gone. He pitches a fit about that. And then he's like crying, without it, immortality can never be mine. Without it, I die like any lesser being. And then he turns around and realizes it stole his car.
He's essentially like, they fucking knocked me out, took my necklace, and then stole my car. These sons of bitches.
People complain about humor. You complain about humor in the Marvel movies, but this is a Marvel joke. Like, a Marvel movie joke, because he's like, they've taken it. No power in all the universe can... They stole my car! He interrupts himself.
He's like, holy shit. Yeah. Because he's standing there and being like, the cosmic control rod is gone. He's fucking pissed. And he's like, I'm just going to get on my fucking ship and go after him. Turns around, ship's gone. And he's like, these 3 random bastards showed up in my town, hit me with my own boot, stole all my stuff. It's amazing. I love it.
He says, "I got to stop these guys," and the way that he's going to do it is he's going to summon the celestial, supremely bestial borers. And these guys are cool, man. They're cool dinosaur guys with like wild ass mouths.
Yeah, they got like I don't even know how to explain their mouths.
The mouths look like construction equipment.
They do.
Like they're phony looking. You know what I mean? Like the rest of their body is like scaled, and they have this like dark green face that has this like construction equipment mouth coming out of it. It's so cool. They're like crocodiles, kind of, with this wild ass fucking mouth. They are unstoppable engines of destruction, Stan tells us. But then we get we get a full page of multiple ads, which was actually one ad for a ton of different things. This is like one of the classic comic book ads.
It's got the X-ray specs.
X-ray specs. Yeah, secret book safe, surprise package, onion gum, smoke bomb. And then at the bottom, you can, for $1, get a lifelike karate practice dummy, which looks like it's just a guy from Hogan's Alley, the shooting range.
It does. I do believe this I'll make you a master of karate ad does not understand what karate is. Because it says, karate is the secret oriental art of self-defense that turns your hands, arms, legs into paralyzing weapons without any bodily contact. I believe there's bodily contact in karate.
Well, this is before the karate wave on Kung Fu overtook America. So they're really just going off of like half-known bullshit. Yeah. Probably like some guys that came back from World War II. You know, it was like, well, you won't believe what we saw.
Your sensei will be Wallace W. Ruman. So
we should write a book about Wallace W. Ruman.
It's a great name.
What his life story is.
Wallace W. Ruman, the no contact karate master.
His karate is full on consensual. He will not touch you if you do not want to be touched. He will still beat your ass, but he will not do it by touching you.
What's his face? The Steven Seagal. Those videos of him now where he's doing karate stuff, and he's just like going like this, and people are falling down. That's what he teaches. That's why moves.
In the cave, the rail plane gets ambushed by these borers, and they immediately tear the plane apart. And they're like, "Shit, this is very bad. These guys are pretty tough." And there's two. Ben's fighting one. Another one comes up behind him. He's getting dragged away. Johnny is going to shoot flames at them, but there's too many of them, and then the whole fucking cave begins to collapse. And I can incinerate the rock with a fast heating subnova blast, but the more I do it, the faster my flame will die out. And so things are pretty bad. They're getting overwhelmed. These beasts are too powerful. Things are going really bad. And then Reed's like, I have this cosmic control rod with me. And he's like, if I concentrate hard enough, and Ben's like, why didn't you fucking do this immediately? Like, why did you wait for this?
He's like, just do it already. Yeah, it's great.
And they get surrounded by a shield of cosmic force, and then they're levitated.
It looks more like cosmic farts.
It looks like farts, yeah. They're definitely farting on these aliens. And they get levitated up through the rock and out of the planetoid. And fucking Annihilus mad again because they're going to be into safe in space, and he cannot allow that to happen. Good thing he has his gunship, which is literally a ship that is mostly guns.
Yes.
Jack took that really literally.
Jack, what year was this? This is like early 70s?
It's got to be late 60s, right?
Yeah. Jack was well ahead on what like the toys of the 80s were going to be, like the action figure play sets.
Oh, yeah, this is 100% a fucking G.I. Joe set. Yeah. 1,000,000%. So he gets into his gunship and he flies after them. He's like, I don't give a shit what planet they came from. I'm going to fucking exterminate them. Who cares? And he goes, he just talks to himself the whole fucking time.
I love this too.
But once I depress this plunger, they are but seconds from total extermination. And since they have finally come into view, I press it now.
From now on, whenever I have to send an email, I'm going to say that to myself as I hit send. Press it now.
The deed is done. Nothing can save them. And zasped goes the thing. And we have another ad, this time for Amazing Spider-Man.
King size special.
The one where they reveal his parents, not great. And a pretty good looking Silver Surfer where he's fighting
some kind of lizard man.
Lizard Man. Is it a Badoon? It might be a Badoon. Could be the deal there. And then we got another page. Look, fellows, you can win your choice of neat prizes free regularly, plus as much as $1 to $5 cash every week. All you got to do is sell grit. What do you think was in grit?
If you're a boy, 12 years or older, you can be a happy, prosperous grit salesman.
There's over 30,000 boys out there doing. What do you think is in an issue of? My whole life I've read old comics with grit ads, and I never really understood what might be in a copy of Grit.
I don't know.
Is it just like boys' adventure stuff, you think, or like camping?
It contains world news, sports, women's features, children's pages, popular comics, games, puzzles, and exciting fiction.
Yeah, but like what? I don't. It's weird. But Grit, this was a fucking scam. It was like it was a multi-level marketing scheme. It seems like they had these kids fucking going door to door selling grit, trying to get a bicycle.
Yeah.
Like, did anybody ever got the bicycle?
I can't imagine.
We get another full page spread here. Everybody's been hit by the beam. They've been clobbered by it, in fact, it turns out. And we're being helplessly flung through space like a team of powerless rag dolls, says Johnny. And Reed's face is amazing. Is this Reed Richards' O face? Is this what Sue saw the night that Franklin was conceived?
I'm gonna make a baby tonight.
Although actually he probably could have knocked her up from the other room. He may never have left his microscope.
Sure, he's still working away. Yeah.
They're not powerless, he says, you know what? And he makes everybody grab together, and then he sees the gunship coming back around to get them. And the cosmic control rod is going to help them get away from the ship, and they fly really fast. And now we got another page of ads. A lot of ads in this, turns out. We got to be a magician. We got really a hurtful ad. Why do you read so slowly?
It's really mean.
Really hurtful. You can get old issues of comic books. Now, that's crazy because, that is, like, way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Like selling back issues like this. And It's just Mr. Howard M. Rogofsky in Flushing. I wonder if we ever went to the same comic book store as Mr. Rogofsky.
I mean, there's a part of me wondering if Howard Rogofsky opened up Lil Nemo's comic shop.
Oh, yeah, maybe. That could be the deal, right? Also, you can have a He-Man voice if you want. You could be a magician. Also, now you can tell what part of the 60s this is.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Can we focus on who teaches you how to have a He-Man voice? Can you read that name? Eugene Fuchtinger?
The Perfect Voice Institute. Again, that's like a real Trump phrase, isn't it? All these ads. Maybe this is where Donald Trump's entire personality came from. Was these ads in old comic books? It's a perfect voice. I have a perfect voice. But you can tell what part of the 60s this is because there's an ad for Psychedelic Light Show.
Oh yeah.
That you can have in your house. In your own home, you can get stoned. See
sights. Living weird.
See sights you've never seen before. Enter the psychedelic world of the Moray Fantasia, projected in your own home like the living light shows of today's discotheques. A visual accompaniment for today's new way out record sounds. So good. Fuck, it's so good. God damn. It's in Hollywood here, baby. Probably just Charles Manson selling these.
All of you say on fleek. In 40, 50 years, people will be laughing at your ads that say on fleek.
Nobody said on fleek for years.
I'm not hip.
Nobody has said on fleek in like 5 years.
Period. I don't know.
Listen, no cap, bro, but on God, they don't say on fleek. See, I got my Gen Z stuff in there, see?
There you go.
There's a missile coming at them, and Reed uses the cosmic control rod to reverse the course of the missile. And then it turns out that the cosmic control rod has not that much energy in it.
Yeah, it's sleepy.
Feels like a very low amount of energy in this thing. Like, they haven't done anything that interesting with it.
No. Well, I mean, they flew around. They beat those guys.
They just created a shield. They didn't even, like, disintegrate them or transport them to another dimension or whatever. Like, it seems pretty, reasonable. The missile goes back and it blows up Annihilus. And then they land on some rocks. And then Reed
recognizes the rocks.
Says, fuck, we've been tracked upon them before. And these are, in fact, the rocks that they met on 51, where They almost died, and they are circling over an antimatter planet, and the rocks are being sucked into the antimatter planet, and the cosmic thing will not work anymore. The reason why is because energy itself is totally neutralized in this area, and that means, which by the way means they would die, but that means that Johnny can't flame on either, and they don't have their antimatter harnesses because they got taken away. They got to do something though, and they're gonna have to figure out what to do after this ad for, this sounds disgusting, plastic pillows.
Inflatable plastic pillows.
Whose idea? I guess this is like for taking to the beach or something like that. Like, I don't understand. Like, who wants to sleep on a plastic pillow? How disgusting is that?
I can't imagine it's meant for sleeping.
Our grandmother used to have plastic on her couches and on her couch pillows, and I fell asleep there a couple of times. And the thing of waking up and your face is sticky. Yeah, it's horrible. It's the worst. You can they can hang loose on the wall. And they got Spider-Man or Thor here for you. Yeah. And it's basically a Spider-Man ass shot that they are selling you on this book. Yeah. This is the original love pillow.
Spider-Man creeping on a dude who's just walking down the street.
And they got some T-shirts too. They got a Thor, they got a Hulk, they got a Spider-Man, and they got a Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel. Yeah. And you can send this to. Also, you can get your Mighty Marvel Marching Society kit. So that's a pretty good ad, I would say.
I like that the thing you send in, that you cut out of the comic, starts with, "Okay, Madmen, here's my hard-earned cash, which I'm sending to you." I love that.
So good. God, I love old Marvel comics so much. Reed's like, we'll get out of this somehow. I don't know how, but we got to do it because we dare not panic.
And Ben goes full emo. He says, "How about we just cry a little?"
Yeah, it's really good. And then Reed just goes off into a fantasy.
Yes.
He's like, well, if that planet evolved the way that our planet did, there might be life on that planet. And, maybe it seems like if there's life on that planet, maybe there's an intricate master plan that God is putting together. And Johnny's like, this might be a whole society where everybody's negative particles. And Finn thinks like, I don't give a shit, buddy. Like, I want to get out of here. But Reed's like, so do I, old friend, more than you know. But the thing is that he is not done having a fantasy.
No, he's he's imagining full cities.
He goes, it's possible. There's a civilization with incredible science, but they can't save us. He's like, why are we doing this, Reed? And then he says, even if we got down there and made contact, as soon as we touch one of these people, we would annihilate the whole planet when matter and antimatter mixed.
I like to think Jack sent these pages in, and Stan looked at him and was like, what the fuck just happened in the middle of the story? What is going on?
It's pretty strange. He got some good Kirby machines, though. He's
got some great, some beautiful art. No, amazing stuff. But, just out of nowhere, there's just 2 pages of Reed Richards making up an entire history of another world that does not exist.
When Reed meets the Negative Zone man, who has weird ears, by the way, and they touch and they explode, they're connected to the dick. In their explosion.
Oh, they are.
They're connected right at the dick. But you know what? Annihilus is like, what are you fucking talking about? And he's like, I still got a gun, by the way. And he starts shooting at them. And
he's got a Negato gun.
Negato gun, which is fully operational within this zone.
Yes.
And his thing goes, well, good for you. And he says, this is actually a blessing in disguise, because I'm going to grab that fucking gun. And I'm gonna fucking smash it. Oh, I snagged it. And back on Earth, the doctors at the hospital have a press conference, and they're like, so it seems like Sue Richards is probably going to die. And they're like, and the doctor's like, is anybody looking for the cure? And the doctor's like, well, the vital element is being sought. And you feel like he might be saying this in a little bit of a downbeat way, because the administrator busts in by the greatest super team the world has ever known. Yeah. Don't worry, everybody. And so now we cut back to the Negative Zone, and
no, we got an ad. Oh no, there's one more panel.
Negative Zone, and it's like, without his gun, he can't hurt us. But they're like, things like, well, who cares? We're going to be fucking annihilated by this goddamn negative planet. If they can make it past this ad for a giant stallion mural full color masterpiece, superb
$1.
Original oil painting reproduction. Basically, it's a poster. Yeah. All 4 prints glorious color, only $1. These are some nice prints here.
And also, some of these have very good names for like Mad Max characters. Fascinator Empress,
Lady Gallant,
Lady Gallant,
King of the Stallions,
Aristocracy Lady.
Aristocracy. That's very funny.
I love Fascinator Empress. That's my favorite.
Back in the negative zone, Johnny's like, well, I guess we're going to die. We can't win them all, but I didn't think we would die like this. And Annihilus like, give me that fucking control. It's useless to you now. It can't save you. And Ben's like, just give it to him. Shut him the fuck up. I don't want to die listening to this guy yap. And Reed's like, you know what? He needs this more than anything else, but Sue needs it too. And everything really depends on whether or not I can drain this energy. And Annihilus, of course it's possible. This is great. Such great supervillain shit. Like, if only we're able to do this. Of course you could do it. God damn it. It's obviously there's a nozzle at the tip. Like, a nozzle at the tip is so funny. The Cosmic Control Rod has a nozzle at the end.
I love it. Like it's a fucking cheese whiz.
He's doing fucking space whippets. That's why Annihilus thinks he's such a big deal. He's doing space whippets.
He's just stoned. He's just real high, destroying his brain this whole time.
Reed's like, okay, I'll give you this fucking Cosmic Control Rod if you give us our harnesses back. And Johnny's like, he won't do it, man. Like, he wants us to die. And he goes, fuck it, like, grab him. There's things like, fuck it, grab him, let's kill him with us. And Reed's like, no, he'll trade. I know it. I know he'll trade. And he said, but if you give the container, how are you going to save Sue? And then Reed's like, no, I happen to have a small negative zone energy capsule in my belt that I can fill up with this.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And they're like, only seconds left, Annihilus. The cylinder for our repulsor units are also, we're all going to fucking die. And Annihilus like, yeah, fine, fucking take it. And they swap them out. And they manage to get... Reed has an insane take on all of this, which is... Johnny's like, what about Annihilus? We're almost out of here, but what about Annihilus? Like, he's going to fucking kill everybody. And Reed's like, I promised him, man. And Johnny's like, he tried to kill us. And Reed says, perhaps, but he considered us menaces. Remember, we're the aliens here.
I mean, and again, they did show up, hit him with his own boot, steal his necklace, steal his car.
He kidnapped them as soon as they showed up.
That's true.
And also, the comic went out of its way to show us Annihilus committing genocide.
Yeah, oh no, so, Annihilus is a horrific figure.
So, like, it's kind of funny to have Reed say that when every kid reading this comic is like, he just committed genocide, Reed. Like, he's a bad guy.
Well, there's good people on both sides.
Things are looking bad. They're collapsing into this negative zone planet. We have another page of ads. Are you too skinny? Do you want to get muscular? I'm 11 years old and I sell $75 to $100 a week in weed.
What? Like, what?
Yeah, it is. He sells Blair products, but who knows what that actually is.
I would think any kid that was making $100 a week at 11 at this time, even today, would be like, this is the greatest goddamn thing in the world.
Oh, $100 a week now, he's making like $6,000 a week. I mean, that's crazy, yeah.
But no, I mean, even if it was just $100 today a week.
No, $100 is nothing today.
I still think if you're 11 years old, you're making $400 a month.
That's easy. That's like the kids that sell candy on the street make that.
I guess.
Also, there's an ad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There's an ad here. They want poems for songwriters. They have a rocket that you can buy. We have bunny decals. Doesn't specify what they're from, but they are world famous
like
bunny.
Yeah.
It's Playboy. They also have 350 crazy labels, and they have a fun and magic pack. Only $1. The LB company in San Antonio, Texas. They do tricks, jokes, and novelties, and they'll send you the fun pack.
And also clean fuzzy eyes. Bathe eyes with Levoptic medicinal eye wash. Floats away dust, dirt, and other irritants.
It is so funny who takes out these ads. Like, what are they thinking? Like, what are they? I'm just very curious what they think is going to happen.
Also, Levoptic eye wash. There's nothing like this is where you get it. It's just like
no,
hey,
it's all.
Maybe you can go find this.
Oh yeah, they don't even give you an address.
Nope.
Wow. However, you can get $10,000 for $1 on this ad page.
I see that. Yeah.
You send them $1 and they send you $10,000 in Confederate money.
Yes.
It's an incredible scene.
Money back guarantee, rebel.
So the guys are about to die, and they jump, and they get away, and Reed does throw the cosmic control rod, but he throws it past Annihilus to make Annihilus go chase it. And that way they can get out, so he's not going to try to kill them as soon as the exchange happens. And we get a big panel of them flying through space, the negative zone, and Ben says, I was getting a Charlie Haas.
Yeah.
And
did that phrasing change at some point?
no, he has that accent when he's speaking.
The accent there?
That's how he says horse. Yeah.
Okay,
And then they got to get home before the baby arrives. And then there's another fucking ad, this time for Cheerios, which is going for the space age look here. The most powerful airplane, the XB-70A Valkyrie. So it's a little bit of and also you can go powerful as the Cheerios kid. You can get your Go Power. Cheerios kid gets Go Power from Cheerios. So
there you go.
I kind of like that kid's. He has those ruddy cheeks, and he's got. It looks like a donut on his arm. It's supposed to be a Cheerio. Yeah. It's got intense donut feel though. Now they go back to the weird liminal space, and they go back to the red space, and then they are home. We cut to the
check out some random guy.
Yeah, some random guy who is freaking out. It's his baby's being born. He's got to stay cool, got to stay calm. He's a bundle of nerves. He's trying to light a cigarette. He says, "Hey, you guys got a match?" And then Johnny's there. They're reading the newspapers and magazines.
Until the third panel of this guy's story, I thought it was Reed, and they miscolored the hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What is? I know Reed smoked a pipe. I never saw him smoking a cigarette before."
No, Reed. That face is too thick for Reed too.
Yeah.
And Johnny lights it with his finger, and the guy goes, "I knew it. I flipped out. I'm gone." But no, it's actually the Fantastic Four, and they're all waiting to hear about Sue. They haven't heard anything. Reed's in the delivery room right now, which is very unusual for this time. So that's kind of interesting. And then Reed comes out of the delivery room, and he's got a fucking look on his face.
He looks real down in the dumps.
I wish he was doing that thing where he's like, "I have bad news, guys. The baby's born."
I like this better, where they're like, "Oh my god, something horrible's happening." He's like, "What? Oh no, I was just thinking about something else." What?
Well, the baby's due, and he nothing else that can be done. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and then but this is funny because it's like they made him leave the fucking room when the baby's going to actually come, and he's like, "I never felt so helpless." And Ben's like, "Look, there's some things you got to let the little lady do alone," and it's like, "No, you don't gotta do this." I actually have been present for friends' births. It's a beautiful experience, and it's a bummer they made the men stand outside.
Well, I do wonder in a case like this if it's a thing where it's like, hey, this is a touch and go birth. We need all hands on deck. You got to get out of the way.
No, he's Reed Richards.
And he's like, I'm the smartest man in the universe.
Yeah. No, it's just that's how it was done back then. Men didn't go to the delivery room. You waited outside. That's why there's so many movies that had that image of guys in the waiting room, like being all nervous and stuff. But then we got another page, and it's a survey.
Yeah,
it's a survey. So they want to know about your Marvel Comics habits. Now, back outside, I like this panel a lot because Johnny is fucking juggling flame balls.
This is
Reed is bent over with his arm all stretched out, and he's just like flicking lint on the carpet. And
I thought he was doing like a tapping.
No, it looks like he's flicking lint. It looks like.
Okay.
That's what it looks like to me. And then Ben is ripping a phone book in half.
Yep. And all of them are thinking like, I got to make it look like I'm not concerned.
Yep.
I can't let the other guys worry. I love it. I love it.
Ben's telling the other guy, the nervous guy, to shut the fuck up. Also, he's smoking in a hospital. This is like, for younger audiences, this is astonishing to see. And then the nurse comes out and says, "Attention, gentlemen." And they're like, "Oh, this is it. It's going to be Sue." And they goes, "No, we're looking for Mr. Smith." And they send him in. And Johnny's so mad he's steaming.
Yes.
This is like...
and Mr. Smith had twins and fainted.
Yeah.
Off
Reed's like, what if we fucking did the antimatter too late? And Ben's like, "Shut the fuck up, guy. Why you gotta be this way?" He said, "Maybe it's taking so long because she's having triplets or even more. Anyway, bad news travels fast, and we ain't heard nothing yet. Hey, didn't I just hear a baby crying?" Like, yeah, I would imagine you would be. This is the delivery area. And Crystal and the Doctor and the entire press corps is out there.
They were all in the delivery room. That's
were
why
taking...
he couldn't go in. They were like, no, you guys sold the rights for us to film this, and there's not enough space for you and the cameras read.
Exactly. So. They were filming Sue Storm's vag the whole time, her invisible vagina. So they come out and Crystal says it's a boy. Mother and child are both doing fine. He's an absolute darling. Johnny's an uncle. Sue is all right. I have a son. Like my dear old Aunt Petunia would say, well, what do you know? And now the press wants some pictures, and they had to stop before they can even meet the baby. They have to get these photos.
Well, Reed goes upstairs talking to the doctor, and the doctor's like, go see your kid, idiot.
And then they go into the other room. They run down the hallway. It's the room at the end of the corridor. And he says, I'd find it if it was at the end of the world. They open the door, and they make this incredible sound effect. It's this enormous creak. I really like it because the premise here is that the room is silent, and then they're breaking that silence. It's really well.
And also, they're entering real slow because they're
slow. They're nervous. And they come in, and there's Sue, and she says, come in and meet your new son. Isn't he beautiful, Reed? He'd have to be with you for his mother. He seems so helpless, so tiny in a world that's so gigantic, so filled with unknown dangers. He's not going to have to worry about danger, pal, not with us around. And we'll never stop trying to make this nutty world of ours a better place so that he and all the other little children everywhere can grow up in peace and brotherhood. To which we say, and then Sue finishes it up with, Amen.
Yeah.
And we get like a little bit of Franklin's face. You chose this as the first appearance of Franklin Richards. He's in 3 panels. And
it's his first appearance.
It is his first appearance. And we get a couple more ads here. But that is mostly the end of the comic. What did you think of this Fantastic Four Annual number 6?
I loved it. It's great. It's a blast.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really fun.
It's real
really
nice.
Fun.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit.
It moves too. Like, I mean, it is action packed.
Yeah.
It's a little wild. One thing I kept thinking while I was reading is like, I wonder if Sue's going to be in this story. Like, she does not appear until the last page.
Nope.
I was shocked by that.
I mean, what are they going to do? Like, back then, like, you could barely even talk about being pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to show her, like, in labor. They would just never, ever do that. Which I think is obviously a bummer. Like, that sucks. And, like, the way that this shit was all handled back then is bad. But, like, within the context of the times, there's no way that she's going to be in this.
I mean, I'm guessing the issue that came out before this ends with her going into labor? Because this one just starts and they're like, she's in the hospital, she's about to give birth.
Maybe. I mean, it may or may not. I don't actually know. But I like that they didn't do a story like where there's like the villains attacking the hospital or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the story was like, that's very Fantastic Four-Z, where they have to like go someplace weird to find the solution, like, and then they end up running into a villain there. But like the plan is not to save anybody except Sue. Like I like that a lot.
No, I like that. I really like. Yeah, I like that a lot. They're like, okay, the cosmic radiation that we all went through is causing problems. There's a way to cure it by getting the stuff from the negative zone. If we go there, we can get it. Oh no, Annihilus. Like I think that's a much more fun thing than like, you know, the Frightful Four being like, Sue Storm is giving birth. Let's go blow up the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah, that's not that interesting. Yeah, this is much more interesting, much more fun. First appearance of Annihilus.
Yeah.
I was curious. I was like, wait, did they meet Annihilus in the regular book? But no, this is their first time meeting him. They never knew him before, so that's pretty cool too.
Such a cool design too.
Such a cool. I mean, Annihilus is actually a cool name, frankly.
It's a great name. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to say the Annihilator, but Annihilus on its own.
I imagine they dropped Annihilus the Annihilator pretty early on.
Yeah, I have to guess.
Yeah.
All right, what are we reading next week? This is you made these decisions, right?
Yes, I don't have the issues though. The first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus, which is what, 49
and 50, yeah.
Yeah. So Fantastic Four, 49 and 50 next week. First appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus.
All right, and that's a good lead-in to the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. So we will see you guys again next week. Remember, if you want to hear us talk about Fantastic Four First Steps, you're going to have to join the Patreon at the $5 or above level. That is www.patreon.com/cinemasangha, SANGHA. And you can listen to the Superman, 3.5 hours about Superman, and it's mostly all of us just gushing over it.
Yeah.
A lot of the listeners were like, "Oh no, this is gonna be a very short episode," because we know they both liked it a lot. But no, we went to the mat because there's a
We
lot to
go.
talk about. There's a lot to
We
talk about.
go.
Yeah. So, and I think it's nice to prove that you can say nice things for 3.5 hours. You don't have to fall back on like nitpicking or like complaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can really do it. Like the positivity is possible, and there's no better movie for us to put that to the test than James Gunn's Superman, a movie all about being positive, hopeful, and kind. So. All right, we'll see you guys again next week. Until then, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you be well, but most of all, may you remain a true believer.